have to have a nice, productive show. So we got to spend a half an hour on the zone, a half an hour on Golovkin, and a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes each on Deontay Wilder. So where do we start? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do we start with Wilder? The fact that I think that he's doing the right thing by going over there listening to them. Now, did anybody listen to the Boxing Voice interview? He was on 78 Sports TV last night, and he was on the Boxing Voice yesterday, correct? I haven't listened to any of them. But if it is true that he's going to be going to meet along with Lou DiBella with John Skipper, the CEO, the chairman. No, he's the chairman of the Zone. If it's true, I think he's making a good decision. Listen, loyalty is everything. But for crying out loud, they could not motherfucking sell Wilder versus Breazeale on pay-per-view. Now, remember, we used to get shitty pay-per-views with Roy Jones, but times have changed, man. Times have changed, man. So, but for that money, he's got to, you know. Eddie Hearn's offering what, $15 million for like just a fight? Now, listen, don't get it twisted. Eddie Hearn is the spokesperson of the Zone, unofficial spokesperson, whether he, you know, wants to be or not. People think that whenever somebody signs with the Zone, they sign with Eddie Hearn. That's not true. But he's very good on the mic, and he is the official spokesperson. The unofficial spokesperson of the Zone. So, of course, he's not going to be signing with Eddie Hearn. He's going to be signing, if he does, along with Lou DiBella, just like Golovkin has signed with the Zone under his own promotional banner, Triple G Promotions. Wilder will likely be going over there, you know, with Lou DiBella. And shout out to Lou DiBella for being the voice of reason, because if you noticed, it seems to be something going on where a lot of the New York events are promoted by TGB when they used to all be DiBella, like all be DiBella, along in association with like TGB or like Warriors Boxing or something. But in this case, I was surprised to see him at the press conference. That was last week for Porter versus what press con? The Lara press conference last week. Lara Castano. So in this case, from what I've been seeing, Lou DiBella has a very good relationship with the Zone. And look at him as being the liaison between, or the middleman, you know, between Wilder. Okay, here's Wilder's team, as we know. Al Haymon pulls all the strings. Then you got Shelly Finkel, and he seems to have a really, really big role. I have a hard time understanding who has more control. Is it Al Haymon or is it Finkel? You see what I'm saying? But I would think it would be Haymon because he's the one that is PBC. You know? So DiBella is just a promoter in regards to putting the event together. But truth be told, he said it himself that he really don't have too much say in regards to what Wilder does. But as the promoter, he does have some say. And he is doing the right thing by, you know, I guess talking to Wilder and saying like, yo, bro, they offering too much fucking money. Like, how the fuck you gonna keep turning this shit? They offering too much fucking money. And then remember, if Wilder gets paid, Lou DiBella gets paid. It'll be, if Joshua Wilder happens, it'll be Matchroom with DiBella Promotions. The question a lot of people are wondering is, what does Al Haymon have to do with this, and does he approve? You know? So, what this is all going to lead to eventually is purse bid wars. It is not official or confirmed yet, but it looks like Dylan White is going to be, you would think that he would want to go do a Bomb Squad Promotions. But he got too many hands in right now for him to do that. But you would think that, damn it, goddamn it, too tough for me to forget what I was going to say. Oh, Dylan White. If it's all confirmed that he's going to be signing with Top Rank, you know, I think it's pretty much done. He posted yesterday or a couple days ago on his Twitter. Let's see. That he has signed. Oh, and also, let me see, what does it say? No impression, this guy's supposed to pull the finger. Progression is a must. Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports Boxing just need to pull their finger out and land me a world title shot on good terms so we can have another world champion in the UK. But he said that he has his fight signed. Where's it at? Where's his page? I'm tripping. Didn't he post yesterday he had a fight signed? Did he take it down? He posted. Y'all saw it yesterday? He posted yesterday he had a fight signed. I think he took it down. He took it down because I retweeted it. He took it down. He took it down. But anyway, the whole thing with the WBC is a mess. Now, let me tell you what happened, right? Because of some shenanigans from Don King. Okay, let me tell you the story. It was supposed to be, this is as far as I'm going to go back, because before that it's going to confuse you. It was the whole Wilder injury thing, the Alexander Povetkin Wilder lawsuit shit that was going on, probably still going on, and then what else was before that? Wilder fighting on those voluntaries. But let's go to Wilder versus Luis Ortiz when it was supposed to first happen. When Wilder was supposed to first fight Luis Ortiz, it was supposed to be Dominic Breazeale versus Bermane Stiverne for the WBC interim, right? Right? And next in line after that was supposed to be Dylan White to likely fight for the WBC interim, the winner of Dominic Breazeale versus Bermane Stiverne. But because of his high blood pressure pills and shit, like Deontay Wilder says, Luis Ortiz failed the drug test. Therefore, Bermane Stiverne, because he was for some reason over Dominic Breazeale and over Dylan White for some old weird reason, because I've learned that Don King still has a lot of stroke in the WBC. And that's why you've seen guys, fighters of his, like Amir Imam, get title shots, Charles Hatley, and Bermane Stiverne. And even with the WBA, I don't know how he got Trevor Bryan to get his hands on that WBA interim, but he has a lot of stroke with the WBC because of, rest in peace, Jose Suleiman, who was the late father of Mauricio. Don King and Jose was very, very close. So back then, it was some major, bullshit going on with the WBC. So to move on, Luis Ortiz fails the drug test. Wilder goes on to fight Bermane Stiverne in a rematch, knocks the shit out of him. We all know what happened with that, right? Then I talked to the WBC president, and I'm trying to get some clarity. I'm like, wait a minute. So where does I was asking him, I'm paraphrasing. I remember exactly what I said. But I was trying to hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. No, I'm not going too far back. Wilder Stiverne 2, that was 2017, right? I'm not going. Basically, that's the point where things got real tricky and weird with the WBC and Dylan White's ranking in the WBC. You see what I'm saying? That's where things got weird. So it's weird as shit now. But you can't blame Deontay Wilder. You have to blame the WBC. Because, in my opinion, I don't know how Bermane Stiverne, I'm going to pull his record up to show you what I'm talking about. Because Luis Ortiz, when he first signed with Al Haymon, was supposed to fight Derek Rossi. It fell through. I was at that press conference in New York. Here, let me show you. I know it's some confusing shit. So I want to know, this is where I had the issue. Bermane Stiverne went from fighting Deontay Wilder, right, fighting Derek Rossi in an untelevised fight. He almost lost this fight, by the way. A lot of people say he was getting beat up. You can't find too much footage out there on it. And then a 2-year layoff and gets a title shot. Or in between this, how was he even in the rankings to be a WBC interim champion or fight for the interim? Because he was a Don King fighter, and Don King got that stroke with the WBC. You following me? You following me? And then look, another big ass gap, and then he was gonna fight for this bullshit WBA new gold bullshit title. So right now, you know, I understand Dylan White's frustrations, but he can't be blaming Wilder. Well, you know, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's weird. You know? But one thing for sure is, now me, you can't count me. My job is to cover the fight. So therefore, I got to buy all pay-per-views. Me personally, I was going to be pissed, but I was going to have to buy Wilder versus Breazeale. And the bad part about it is, because PBC is not really known to be having good pay-per-view undercards, every now and then you'll get a gem. You know, like, for example, we got Battle Jack Marcus Brown, but they would really need a super undercard to support a fucking fight like that, but they can't. Because why? Because they would have to put Wilder versus Breazeale on pay-per-view to combat the offers Wilder's been getting for 10, 12, 15 million plus a fight. That's why that fight would have to end up on pay-per-view. You know, so let's do a little bit of math here. Let's do a little bit of math. Let's do $74.99. $74.99, which is likely what Wilder versus Breazeale would be. No, actually, Wilder versus Fury was $79.99, right? I believe I paid $79.99 for high definition. But anyway, let's just be generous. Let's do $74.99 because that's how much Spence Garcia costs. It's actually $74.95, but let's do $74.99. $74.99 times 200,000 pay-per-view buys, because if Wilder Fury did what? Low end, people say, you know, the low end, you know, like Rick Glosser says, it did 283 pay-per-view buys. High end, like 328, something like that. So $74.99 at 200,000 pay-per-view buys is about almost $15 million in revenue, right? Factor in ticket sales, factor in overseas revenue, factor in what the networks have to take. And I know it's going to be some asshole in the chat. It's going to be, well, TstreeT, you know the networks take all this, you know the networks take this, blah, 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 blah. I know that shit. I just don't see how they can break a profit. You know, I don't see it. Because I see Wilder Breazeale doing 200,000 pay-per-view buys. But Wilder is gaining more casual appeal. You see what I'm saying? He's gaining more casual appeal. So, you know, maybe people want to see or going to pay for Wilder to see him knock somebody out. Okay, I tell you what. Somebody put Julio on timeout. Don't you ever come to my channel. I already apologized to you the last show. Now you're looking for fucking attention. He can't comment. Rob, you getting your moderator back. Don't let him comment for the rest of this stream, because he's looking for attention. I already apologized the last show. And you're still wrong about they going into bankruptcy. So, you know what? Keep putting him on timeout. You can't comment no more. See, we don't block people. No, it's not your bad. Y'all know I don't like when people come on here looking for attention, like trying to get me to motherfucking feed in, which I just did. Son of a bitch. Put him on timeout. Somebody do it. I'm going to do it myself. I said I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do it myself. Hold on. Fuck you, Julio. Fuck you. And I'm going to apologize again later on. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, you know, pay-per-view is not necessarily something that they want to go to unless they really, really have to, because there is a lot of money that goes into building up a pay-per-view as well. Remember, you got to factor in those costs. You know, of producing the all access, of producing all that digital content, you know, the pay-per-view team, the PR team, you know, the outsourcing, all kind of shit. But Wilder is now he can't, like, with the money, he can't fight Dominic Breazeale for $2 million on Showtime when he's getting offered 10, 15 million to fight whoever they want him to fight. And somebody probably lower than Dominic Breazeale. He's got to listen to the Zone's offers. He's got to. Don't get me wrong. Now, I know people are going to hate this, but y'all got to fucking pull your goddamn heads out of your assholes. The walls are closing in on PBC fighters and Al Haymon, especially with Showtime. See, Showtime is a premium network. They're not a sports channel. The sports, and in particular, when we're talking about the boxing, that's like, you know, something to keep you there. But they're really focusing on movies and shit and like original content, like HBO was. But they realized that HBO, for one, Peter Nelson, you know, I met him before and he gave me his card and told me to call him. This was the first fight I ever went to. I went to Hopkins versus Kovalev. I still have his card. I went to Hopkins versus Kovalev and I forgot, we were talking about some shit about like, you know, I like to ask about like network shit, like numbers and how do they like put together pay-per-views, all that stuff. So he told me to call him and I never called him. It's not like, you know, like I was trying to be like disrespectful or anything. Then I saw him again. It was at the Jennings Klitschko press conference. He gave me like this dirty look like, but I don't like how he just gave up, you know, on boxing on HBO. It's like, what the fuck? That shit was a part of my childhood, man. Like you just going to bow out and then keep making Muhammad Ali documentaries? What the fuck?